Hey, welcome back to Alex Talking. I'm Alex and I love going to the movies. Today, I'm standing out here because, well, my fiance's sleeping and I don't want to wake her up, but I want to talk about The Running Man. Because we saw this last night with a group of five. I was able to get five people to go see this one because people like Edgar Wright. And I've been very excited for this movie for a while because, to be 100% honest, The Running Man has always been one of my favorite Stephen King movies. I understand that in a lot of ways it's not a very realistic or true adaptation of his book, but just through the context of this is a movie that is based on a Stephen King property, it's one of my favorites. It's a great Arnie movie. They've got Jesse the Body Ventura with chainsaws. It's always been a dumb fun movie for me. And then my fiance's dad loves it, so I've watched it with him. And that's something we'll watch over the years. He wants to go see this new one, so that's the type of movie that now I know is going to constantly be on rotation with Unc, and for good reason. It's just a fun movie, and that's exactly what this one is too. But with a very, very fun and mean-spirited energy to it, if that makes any sort of sense. If you see the movie, you know what I mean. I think all the directors, they transitioned from the era of making movies about growing up and liking movies, the Fabelmans, even Babylon for Damien Chazelle's that, of course, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for Tarantino, all these, licorice pizzas. You know what I'm saying. Sorry, I'm stoned and it's 9 a.m. But now we've got the fact that Begonia from Lanthimos, One Battle After Another, PTA, and this, and tons of other ones. I just don't have examples off the top of my head right now. Our director's getting there. The world's fucked, and we need to do something about it because we're just sitting completely oblivious and letting it happen to us, letting the government fuck us, letting technology take advantage and take control. And we need to fight the fuck back. And that's a message that, as blunt and as unsubtle as it is, it's one of those things that when they put that message in the movie, all I'm going to say is, hell yeah. And Gore Verbinski did the same with Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. Is another one that's going to be coming out in February. Probably my favorite in the genre, outside of One Battle After Another and Begonia, just because they're 5-star, phenomenal films. But it's a really good version of it. I digress. We're talking about The Running Man. And The Running Man is just a very good action movie with that message at the center of it, which is almost difficult to balance because it can be very unpleasant to deal with topics like that and off-putting to your audience. But I think part of the fact that this works is because of the cast, and very little because of the director. Isn't that weird and strange? Now, very, very much so, the discourse on this movie has been divided but amongst people I've talked to, except for the fact I will say, and this is a great thing to point out, because it's not just people you talk to on the internet that fucking matter. The 5 of us that went and saw it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all liked it. Every single one. I really liked it. I looked at my fiance, who almost didn't come because she was like, I just really think it looks bad. As soon as it ended, she was like, 2 thumbs up, I really liked it. And that was such a relief that was the immediate reaction. She was like, I was wrong, that was really fun. And then I looked down the aisle, and they're all just best movie in ages. So that made me so happy. But something needs to be said. And I'm just saying this as somebody who really liked the movie. I can't tell if Edgar Wright's trying something different, because it's only a 7th movie, but through 6, they all have a very distinct style, and they're all very similar in that style. And they all have been a director building up and honing that style. I guess that's the difference. It's honing it. It's refining your craft and your distinct thematic language that makes you an auteur. So going from 6, which is Last Night in Soho, which is my personal 2nd favorite movie of his, to 7, and now it is a completely generic, not generic, but I actually thought the production design and everything was great. When I say generic, I mean literally anybody could have directed this. And that's just not, Edgar Wright's not a director I expected that from, ever. He's like a Wes Anderson, for example, where I know a Edgar Wright movie when I see it. All I have to do is look at it. There's only one Edgar Wright movie that I think is actually bad, and that's Baby Driver. And even when I look at Baby Driver, I completely see that's an Edgar Wright movie. I just don't like it. And this one, as much as I did like it, did not see it outside of one Michael Cera action sequence with a Rolling Stones needle drop, which was fantastic, my personal highlight of the movie. And unfortunately, the age-old joke, um, Edgar Wright can't write women. And as a Last Night in Soho defender that has no problem with the sexual politics of how the prostitutes are villainized in that movie, um, women only being depicted as prostitutes, strippers, multiple porno mags, and watching Desperate Housewives while they drive Teslas and being ignorant. Uh, wow. Um, there's an old adage me and my friends started saying to each other where it's like, you know what? As much as inclusion's great, if you can't write women, don't put women in your movie because then it comes across really, really like, oh, buddy, what are you doing? This fully gave that. There is a hostage character in the third act that as soon as she walks in, she is the ultimate in Edgar Wright cannot write women, let alone Glenn Powell's wife in this movie being in no way ever resembling a matriarch or motherly character. And that's the type of thing where I'm like, don't you want us to feel a little bit of sympathy for her? Because we do want to be cheering for Ben Richards, right? We do want to be cheering for him and his family, but his wife is just a stripper that won't take care of their kid, which is like ignorant to say, but like the fact that was the only characterization and the only scenes we got with her felt weird to me, especially whenever they try to start tugging on emotions necessarily at the end with his family. I'm like, well, I didn't give a shit about them, and that felt intentionally so, almost. But honestly, yeah, man, I just thought that outside of those critical flaws, this just worked as an action movie. Has some bad CGI for sure, but it is a hard R. Lee Pace is fantastic as one of the killers, one of the hunters. And I actually really did appreciate that this is at least a very hard R, both in language and violence, action movie. And it wasn't about holding back. All the cast, there's tons of different people in here. Coleman Domingo, Josh Brolin, the Please Don't Destroy guy. They're fantastic. And of course, Michael Cera linking back up with Edgar Wright was a total blast. I didn't even put two and two together. I knew Michael Cera was in this, but I'm being honest. As I was watching it, I thought, oh wait, this is an Edgar Wright Scott Pilgrim reunion, because the dude next to me, Scott Pilgrim's his favorite movie ever, and he popped off when Michael Cera showed up, and I was like, oh, this is huge. That's awesome. So yes, I thought The Running Man 2025 is about just as good as the original, and very fun, very true to the story take on it, and really cool aesthetic and production design. And I just really enjoyed it. So regardless of the fact that there's no real whip pans and zooms and actual Edgar Wright feeling language is very brief. It was just a fun actioner, and these are the type of roles I should be seeing Glenn Powell in my opinion. I think that this is perfect type role for him. He's an actor I like that just slots so great into movies like this. He was great in this. So let me know what you thought in the comments. I hope you enjoyed it. I would give this movie a 3.25 out of 5. And thank you for watching. Have a great day. God bless. Keep watching movies.